You know those Norse runes, the ones carved into stone and wood? For centuries, we've basically seen them as gateways to this mystical past, symbols of magic, fate, and the gods. But what if that's only half the story? It turns out new technology is letting us listen to these ancient whispers in a completely new way. And what it's telling us, well, it's challenging everything we thought we knew.
So this really gets to the heart of it. When we look at Viking runes, are we seeing magical spells or, and this is going to sound a little weird, social spreadsheets? I know it's a strange comparison, but that's the exact puzzle that researchers have been piecing together. The popular image of some Viking shaman casting runes for a prophecy just doesn't quite line up with this new, much more practical reality.
Okay, so to really get what a huge deal this is, we gotta back up a little. Where did our popular image of the runes even come from? Let's take a look at the myth that's had us captivated for so long.
I mean, think about it. From fantasy novels to huge blockbuster movies, runes are the ultimate symbol of ancient Norse magic, right? We picture them being used in these secret rituals to tell the future or to maybe even place a curse. This vision of runes as these purely mystical tools is a powerful one, and honestly, for centuries, it's been the default assumption.
But here's the thing. Historians and archaeologists, they started noticing things that didn't quite fit that story. They saw these patterns and repetitions in the runic inscriptions that seemed, well, oddly normal. They didn't feel like magical incantations. They felt like something else entirely.
And that led to a really fascinating question. What if, buried beneath all that mythology, there was a hidden system, a kind of organizational logic that was right there in front of us the whole time, just waiting for us to figure it out? And this is where our detective story really kicks off.
So to crack this code, researchers needed a completely new kind of tool. Not a magnifying glass, but something way more powerful. A sort of digital archaeologist that could see connections totally invisible to the human eye. So they turned to artificial intelligence.
The technique they used is called computational analysis. And to put it simply, it's all about feeding a massive amount of runic text into a powerful AI. The AI then acts like a detective with a perfect photographic memory. It scans every single inscription for recurring names, places, family connections, things that would take a human researcher an entire lifetime to cross-reference. It's basically a superpower for historical analysis.
So how does this AI detective even work? Well, first, thousands of these runic inscriptions are digitized. Then, the AI hunts for key markers, like names, family ties, maybe locations. From there, it starts to map out all the social connections between them. And finally, it visualizes all that data, revealing this hidden social network from 1,000 years ago. It's pretty incredible.
So this is the moment of truth. What did this AI detective actually find? What was the big secret hidden in all those stones?
The results were just stunning. The AI didn't just find a couple of records here and there. It revealed what you can only describe as a social blueprint. It turns out the runes weren't just random carvings. They were a systematic method for recording the very structure of Viking society.
And the crucial part is what they were recording. We're talking about detailed family trees, complex social hierarchies, and the bonds that held entire communities together. These weren't just Olaf was here messages, no way. They were a public declaration of a person's status, their family, and their exact place in the world.
And the data, it paints such a fascinating picture. While mystical uses made up about 1/4 of the inscriptions, so still important, nearly half, a whopping 45%, were dedicated to social and communal information. So keeping track of their society wasn't just one function of this writing system, it was a primary one.
So what does this all mean? Does it mean the magic wasn't real or important to them? Not at all. Instead, it gives us a much richer, more complex understanding of what the runes were truly for, and, maybe more importantly, where their real power came from. It seems the true power of the runes, their genius, really, came from this dual function. Yes, absolutely, they had a mystical power. They were used in rituals and divination. But they also wielded immense social power. Carving your family's lineage into a public stone was a way to cement your status and your power for everyone to see. It was an administrative tool just as much as it was a magical one. And if there's one idea to take away from all of this, it's gotta be this. The runes weren't just whispering secrets of the gods. They were shouting their social order for everyone to see. They were a public record, a societal database, and a political statement all carved right there in stone.
This whole fusion of ancient texts and modern AI really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other secrets from our past are hidden right there in front of us, just waiting for a new way of looking
a new tool to finally bring them out into the light.